You're not depressed. I'm pretty sure it's just your diet. When I was on a journey of finding out my mental health and really improving my life and getting myself out of the gutter was the realization that there's more than just the meditation, journaling, and quitting the bad habits. But you're setting yourself up for failure and let alone limiting yourself of the potential well-being you can have if you don't do these following things. I'm Maxwell and I help teach young men find purpose in life. And today I want to talk about your diet and physical health. When I was getting into self-improvement, because I was down bad, I was sad and depressed, I didn't have any real reason for living. And I started doing the cliche things, the meditating, the journaling, the quitting bad habits, and they helped. But I only realized how amazing I can feel if I fine-tune something. Of course you think, oh yeah, Maxwell, the diet's important. But I'm pretty sure you're still slacking off of it. You're thinking the chicken and rice and broccoli are really the superfoods that are going to make you feel so much more of a man. I doubt that. Now, you have to understand that I use this analogy of almost a race car. For a race car, it's not just your daily commuter that gets you A to B. You're no longer just floating through life trying to go do your obligation and mundane things. Instead, you want to go through life as fast as you can, metaphorically, and perform as well as you can be. So you have the fundamentals of a car, all right, A to B, your fuel, spark, intake, or things like that. So for your body, you understand, yeah, don't feed it shit. If you put the wrong type of gas in your car, sure, it will still work most likely, but you want to be a race car. You want to be better than everyone else. So you need the diet that is going to allow you to perform as well as you can be. So it's not just the carbohydrates, proteins, and fats that you need to focus on. It's the micronutrients. It's the lifestyle change. I recently had surgery and I really understood that I need to be eating clean. Not only for this moment of very weak health, but the moments I had in the past where I was into the fitness, I was into the eating, I was eating like a bodybuilder with the rice, the chicken, the broccoli, and it really wasn't cutting me out. But when I changed not only from the bad stuff, but into a diet that was maximized for the appropriate things for my body to work. If you start tracking and counting your calories and seeing what nutrients you get, you figure out you're so deficient in so many. And we can start with the basic ones that I think are the most important. And we'll get into the end of the video where I have, more points. I have a diet plan that I can actually have you go on, and some stuff about sleeping and working out, other things to maximize your health. But let's get into some micronutrients that are important. The first one I want to talk about is vitamin D. Because if you don't have this fundamental vitamin, which is actually a hormone, I don't know all the studies about that, but it says something about you. It is correlated with so much of your physical health. You go into the winter that's coming up, and I don't know about you, but around here it gets very cold and dark. You need to supplement vitamin D, or when you have the opportunity, go out and sunbathe for 20 to 30 minutes a day. And when you start doing these things with the actual steps that I have for you, you're gonna notice a game changer. Instead of that shitty commuting car where you just go throughout your day, maybe has a misfire, maybe it's kind of janky, to the car that performs so well. You're gonna be the guy who performs so well and you're gonna feel amazing. A healthy diet is correlated with your testosterone, with your zeal, for your zest for life. Do you want to have those headaches? And when you eat those certain foods that you feel like shit, but you push through it because you built it up so many years of taking in this bad stuff, you're used to it. So when you finally have the discipline and motivation to get on a healthy diet and eat the proper micronutrients, you're going to feel amazing. And then when you take that step back of, oh, I'm going to have the slice of cake, you feel like shit. But you didn't realize it in the moment because you spent so many years eating the cake like a fat ass. So I tell you right now, one of the most important micronutrients, and we'll get into the diet plan later, is vitamin D. I've started to take supplement pills because frankly it's fall right now. The sun's not even fully out today. And screw the daily amounts that they tell you. Of course, I'm not a doctor and I can't legally tell you to do X, Y, and Z, but trust me from my heart to yours that you need to take a lot more than is recommended to you. You can read those little shitty labels and they say 1,000 to 2,000 IUs daily intake. That's the bare minimum. The bare minimum is going outside, getting sunlight for 5 minutes, or taking those vitamin gummies that give you the bare minimum. If you want to be running optimal, you know what I do? And I built up to the point where I understand that this is the appropriate amount that is good for me. I take 10,000 IUs a day. And something you notice when you start supplementing things that you're insignificant amount or you're deficient in is the appropriate word. So when you're deficient in something and then your body finally has the appropriate amount to disperse through your body and be healthy, you feel amazing. I notice things like morning wood again, having energy in the morning, feeling clear and present. So you go out there and take that vitamin D. Another very important one is zinc. I feel like we don't have a lot of, what's the word, protein throughout the day. And when it is, it's the chicken. The chicken's the cheapest. It's the easiest to get, but it's white meat and it's so bland. There's nothing in it. So you have to get preferably these micronutrients through more through more dense food, like the beefs, the fish, the eggs, things that have so much more micronutrients and then therefore are worth more because of the value that they give to you. So zinc, yes, you can supplement it, and the same thing with vitamin D. I was deficient in it. I felt like crap. When I started taking the appropriate amount, I take around 25, I think, milligrams of zinc. If I don't get it throughout my diet, which is that's something I track, I feel amazing. So you supplement the zinc, the omega-3s for the recovery. So if you're constantly in the gym, yes, you can have the carbohydrates and the proteins between 30 minutes and an hour after or pre-workout to appropriately gain the muscle, but the omega-3s actually help recovery. And I don't have all the sources to cite, but trust me, magnesium for going to bed if you suffer with like falling asleep or having good sleep. Magnesium's a great one to take before bed, zinc in the morning, and your A, B, and your A and B vitamins is something that are crucial with just the general health of you. But I think I have a pretty healthy diet, but I'm still deficient in them. And that's where we kind of are going to go to the second phase of this video, is implementing more actionable steps and how to get these things. Because I preach vitamins, I think they're very important, but it's more better to get them through actual food. Your body will end up using more of it. There's actually a percentage of, let's say you take vitamin D pills, a percentage of that is not actually going to properly process through your body, and you might end up peeing or shitting it out. So some things I have written down for you before we get into the actual diet plan is the importance of stop poisoning yourself. You want to be healthy. You want to be that guy that has so much zeal for life that you're running through brick walls. You wake up in the morning and you're ready to destroy the world, get your work done, fuck that woman. You know, you want that high energy. And certain things are really pushing you back. High sugar amounts. That glucose, that insane amount of sugar in everything that is sweet and good tasting, that kills your body and produces a type of fat that is very hard to remove. And that mental clarity. Like if you are a YouTuber or if you have work that is very mentally tolling on you, you need to make sure you're eating the right type of foods so you don't have like a giant bowl of oatmeal and you get like really carb full and your mind's taking forever to process that food. You need to like fast, or you need to have a certain diet that's correlated with your work. So stop poisoning yourself. Eat fucking clean. And when you slowly eliminate things in your diet and implement more ones in to see what can cooperate with your body, you'll realize simple things like I just can't eat bananas. They make me feel like shit. Certain carbs, I'm trying to think of certain ones. Oatmeal is hit or miss. It's a whole thing. And and just sugars, processed foods. If I eat a Big Mac, I feel like I'm about to die just because of how clean my diet is. And then other things that really implement the physical health that is going to correlate with your mental health. And the whole point of this video is you think you're depressed because you feel like shit. Your car, which is your metaphorical, mental, and physical state, is running on shitty fuel. If you give it the appropriate stuff, it's going to run so much harder and you're going to feel better. I feel sharp, clear, and present because of the things I ate. If I record this video after a big meal of shitty processed food, like I had a few slices of cake or hamburgers, I'd feel like crap and I wouldn't be able to do this video as well as I could. And just working out, that physical strain that will really help your mental health and give you a desire to eat more food. But the diet plan that I actually have for you, to break it down in something that seems feasible and actionable for you, I'm just going to tell you what I would ideally eat in my day. So I would wake up and ideally, I fast for about 2 hours, 3 hours. I get deep work done. I do my morning routine. And when it's time to eat, I'll have about 4 eggs. And I have toast, like a whole grain toast, some healthy crap. And that's my breakfast. I'll go ideally work out. I'm going to stop using that word ideally. But I'll go work out. I'll come back. Excuse me. I'll go work out, come back. I'll have a protein shake, which sure has synthetic stuff and isn't amazing for me. But I'll usually have yogurt with granola and raisins or pasta, just something to fill in that day with the healthy fats. And for dinner, I love having ground beef. I'll cook that with some seasoning. I'll throw it into a bowl of rice and cooked spinach, and I'll eat all that up. And for a late night snack, I either have oysters or eggs before bed. If you know anything about eggs, they're filled with choline, cholesterol, which is the precursor to testosterone, something you really need as a young man. And the oysters are filled to the brim with omega-3s, the best food. Like, as funny as it may seem, you watch these older movies with like James Bond and they're about to have, well, sex with a girl. He eats oysters. It is game changer, dude. You don't feel like a man until you eat a whole bunch of oysters. It'll make you run through walls. So the summary of that video, of that eating throughout that day, another food you can throw in there is yams. Lunch, dinner. A good yam is filled with micronutrients and it's a very healthy carbohydrate. So I have the protein in the morning and a little bit of carbs before my workout. After my workout, I have more carbs and some protein, but mostly fat, like that yogurt. That fat, which everyone says, oh, the non-fat, just trust me, go for the fat. It's so healthy for you. You need it. And then for dinner, I have more red meat because, again, it's just filled with the brim with things that you need. More carbs and some vegetables, usually spinach. Just that one's filled with like zinc and other healthy things like that. And to end of the day off, I have, again, oysters or eggs, just to really pack myself up with mostly A, B, omega-3s, protein, and zinc. And those healthy carbs that are correlated to the function of your brain really makes you feel amazing. And notice how the majority of what I ate was a single ingredient thing, minus the protein shake. But guess what yogurt's made out of? Yogurt. What is egg made out of? Egg. What is a potato made out of? A potato. You base your diet off of that. It's very simple. And you'll be able to eat good. One last thing is, there's a guy drifting a truck, but one last thing is, in this difficult time of trying these things, just change your dinner to something healthy. And then eventually your lunch, and then eventually your breakfast. And then once you're consistent with it, you'll be having an amazing diet and you'll feel freaking amazing. And your mental health will be gone because you're eating a diet that reflects yourself and you'll be so clear and present and you won't ever be sad because your body will be fueled and be running at 100%. I'm Maxwell. I appreciate it if you like and subscribe, comment down below, and I'll see you on the next video.